Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris here, and today I wanted to give you my review of The Substance. This is one of these films that kind of came out of left field. I saw the trailer for it, I had an interest in it, but I knew that just kind of giving work obligations and everything else, it would be tough for me to see it in a theater. So I patiently waited for it to release on digital. I picked it up on Fandango at home, and I was not disappointed in the least. So, directed by Coralie Farget, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I believe a French director, starring Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, Dennis Quaid. This is one of these things that hits you like a freight train, right? And the plot of the movie is this. Demi Moore plays Elizabeth Sparkle, who is an aging Hollywood actress, right? And so at one point in time, you sort of get the idea and get very clearly the sense that she was sort of the it girl, right? She was the one that was in every movie. And then eventually she finds fame in the form of being on sort of an aerobics TV program. And so but she's starting to age, and this really sleazy, scummy TV producer in the form of Dennis Quaid is sort of pushing her out and wants to find somebody new and young and beautiful to sort of take over that spot. And so, mysteriously, Demi Moore's character, Elizabeth Sparkle, is approached by someone who practices medicine, I guess would be the best way to describe it, with something called the substance. And what it is it's a mysterious chemical agent that produces a duplicate you, but you can only be sort of 7 days on with that duplicate version of yourself that's younger and quote unquote better, and then 7 days back onto your older self. And if you deviate from that, grotesque and horrible things begin to transpire. And I don't want to say anything else about the movie beyond that. I really think this is one of these things where you just have to go in and experience it and just see how completely off the rails and bonkers it is. Going into it, I had the sense that it would probably be, sort of gory here and there, but what I love so much about this is that it is a deeply layered film, right? Subtextually, there's a lot that it says here about men and sort of how men frequently look at women and the Hollywood industry in and of itself. But I think more broadly, also aging and how we all kind of cope with aging. But this is just one of these things that is it's electric, right? It just feels like a revolutionary type of movie. It just completely hooks you and pulls you in, and even though it's 2 hours and 21 minutes or something in that range, it just felt like it flew by to me. Like, I think the pacing of it is outstanding. Now, some people might say when you get toward the end of the movie, potentially it kind of loses its way a little bit. Like, I was cackling at some of the stuff toward the end of the movie, but I think it actually has its purpose too. Like, I think it was intentional in that way. And no, I wouldn't say that it's a perfect movie narratively. There are some weird little gaps and hiccups here and there that I just sort of thought, okay, it would be interesting if they explained this piece of it a little bit more. But really, ultimately, that's beside the point. The point has to do with sort of this bigger picture of how do we grapple with aging? How do we sort of, move beyond these ideas that as we get older, we somehow want to retroactively become young again. There's just a lot of nuance to it that's awesome. And if you're a gorehound at all, this just takes it to another level, right? And I just saw Terrifier 3 not long ago, and in many ways, this is right there with it. And it's even more kind of, I guess, Cronenbergian body horror stuff as it progresses. But it's an amazing movie, an amazing soundtrack. The directing is awesome. A lot of tight end close up shots that make you feel claustrophobic. And the whole thing is borderline surrealist, otherworldly, but it's just outstanding. And I can't stop thinking about it. It's just one of those movies that sticks with you, and you're just in awe of the craft that you're seeing on the screen. So I think it's an outstanding movie. It might be my favorite movie that I've seen so far in 2024. Like, I'm trying to think of other contenders, and right now this is the one that just sort of has bubbled up, to the top of my list. So it's just excellent. And yes, again, I think some people might say at times it can be a case of style over substance, pun intended there. But I really think there's more to it than that. I really love this movie. I'm happy that I purchased it on Fandango at home, Vudu. I know that I'll watch it again. It's just one of those things that drags you in, and it's just mesmerizing to watch. Everything about it is just bold and new and super interesting. So I love The Substance. If you've seen it, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, thanks so much for watching.